Hi Taurus, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of December. And it's amazing to be even saying that, but we have had a crazy year and we have a dramatic ending and a big month ahead, so let's get right into it. So we end the month of November with a lunar eclipse at 8 degrees and 38 minutes of Gemini, which takes place in your house of income and what you value. And hopefully it brings a payout or some money for something you've been working on, or hopefully it brings form to something you've been trying to create in your life. But when we're in eclipse season, it's a heightened time with a lot of things happening, a lot of unexpected beginnings and endings, and you can get information out of the blue. You can find out something you never knew about before. They can be very revealing. They're wild cards, but you can expect a lot happening and just a lot of energy and heightened pressure. And the lunar eclipse takes place close to the world axis, which is 7 degrees of a mutable sign, and they are Gemini, Virgo, Tisch, and you feel it 5 days after, and it can be very foggy. But Neptune also rules the hidden information. It rules the subconscious mind, and it can represent deception. So you can expect to hear a lot of information in the first few weeks of December and in the whole month of December. And there's a lot of Neptune influence in the month of, which is great for manifesting, but it can be very sensitive and confusing. So on December 1st, Mercury, which is the ruler of the sign of Gemini and is the planet of information, exits the sign of Scorpio, where it's been transiting in your house of partnerships, and relationships have been a big focus for you. And it enters the sign of Sagittarius, where it will be until December 20th. And it's in your house of intimacy and joint resources and debt and healing and transformation. And it's a good time for doing healing work in such a difficult year. And then on December 5th, Venus, which is in the sign of Scorpio, in your house of relationships, where it will be until December 15th. Venus is forming a beautiful trine to Neptune in your house of friends and groups. And that's a very romantic energy. That's a good day for having fun with a partner, for doing something creative, for partnering with friends, and just for feeling a very good manifesting energy. On December 9th, the sun in Sagittarius, which is transiting in your house of unblocked wounds, is forming a square to Neptune in your house of friends and groups. And you may find that maybe a friend is going through something difficult. Maybe you're dealing with some healing issues that are bringing some sensitivity. On the 13th of December, Mercury, which is also transiting in your house of intimacy, is forming a square to Neptune. And that can be painful energy, but again, use this energy for manifesting. Neptune rules the imagination, and in order to manifest, you need to believe it's true. And it's good for doing spiritual work, for clearing, for cleansing. We all have things we need to cleanse after this really difficult year, and we all need to find manifesting potential and hope. And for you, you've been doing a lot of restructuring with this Capricorn tail around belief systems, around learning and teaching, learning how to promote yourself more and market yourself. And you're preparing for a big career cycle. And it's also been a big relationship focus for you this fall with Mercury it was retrograde in your house of relationships, and then it retrograded back to your house of habits. So that's been a big focus. So going forward, we're using this Neptune energy to help us to manifest and heal. And on the 13th, that is another day that information could be uncovered with Mercury squaring Neptune. Hidden information that perhaps up until then we had no idea about. Maybe you find out something about a friend. Maybe there's miscommunication, but you might find something out. And it's the day before the total solar eclipse that takes place on December 14th at 11:17 a.m. Eastern Time. And it takes place at 23 degrees and 8 minutes of Sagittarius, and that falls in your house of healing and joint resources and transformation. And it's a really good manifesting new moon because it's ruled by Jupiter, the grand benefic, and it on that day, Venus, which will still be in Scorpio, in your house of partnerships, forms a beautiful sextile, which is an aspect of opportunity, to Jupiter, which is the luckiest planet. And Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn, in your house of belief systems and manifesting. So that's good for dealing with relationships, for manifesting with that energy. This new moon eclipse in Sagittarius, a total solar eclipse, very powerful in your house of healing, healing the wounds, healing the pain, finding new ways to find financial opportunities, because it's also a money house and good for intimacy. Maybe you're clearing the way with clearing the space for all of the things you've been thinking about this fall around relationships, to make space for a new one in 21. And so it's good energy for that. Very powerful new moon eclipse, and it squares Neptune in the sky, and Neptune's transiting in your house of friends and groups, and groups and community. Maybe some friends you are seeing in different light, or finding something that just doesn't resonate with you, or perhaps you're finding more creative ways to manifest, because that's also the house of wishes. And again, you have been doing a lot of soul searching around relationships, and I think also a lot of investigation around self in the last few years, because Uranus, which is the ruler of Aquarius and is the planet of innovation and change, has been transiting in your sign since May of 2018. So there's been a lot of change around self and partnerships for a while. You'll be a new person by the time Uranus leaves your sign in a few years. But this new moon eclipse is powerful. And then on the 15th, Venus forms a very helpful aspect to Saturn, structuring what you're trying to create around relationships and in your own life, what you value, what you want to have. And then Venus exits Scorpio that day and enters your house of healing and money, where it will be until December, where it will be until January 8th, actually. So that it'll be in Sagittarius, which is a much more optimistic placement of Venus than Scorpio, but it will be in your house of healing and dealing with issues that need to be addressed, that may be painful, but in order to heal. So you want to put that to that use, and then let's see here. We've got Chiron, the wounded healer, also stations direct on the 15th in your house of the subconscious mind and spirituality. And so this is helpful too around doing healing work, because that's another big focus for you, I think, for this month. And then we have on the 16th, or the 17th, depending on what time zone you're in, Saturn exits the sign of Capricorn and enters the sign of Aquarius, and this is huge. So Saturn exits the sign of Aquarius on December 16th at 9:04 p.m. Pacific time, or December 17th Eastern time, or just the time zone to where you are. But it's entering your house of career and life goals, where it'll be until March of 2023. And this is going to be a really big time in your life for achieving and focusing on what you want to build. It's a huge time for you to raise your profile professionally and really focus on what your life goals are, not just limited to your profession, but what you want to achieve as a person, what legacy you want to leave behind in your life, and what do you want to do. You know, there's so many things, and this is going to be a big deal. And let's see here. And then on the 19th of December, Jupiter enters the sign of Aquarius, and it'll be there on and off until December 29th of 2021. Saturn's going to be occupying your house of career until March of 23, so you have a few years to work with really anchoring your goals and really building your status professionally. And Jupiter's going to be there for approximately a year, and that's going to expand your opportunities and bring good fortune in this area. So that's really helpful as well. And we're entering the age of Aquarius, which is really exciting. So on the 20th of December, Mercury exits the sign of Sagittarius and enters the sign of Capricorn, which is your house of promotion and publicity, where it'll be transiting until January 8th. And this is excellent if you're promoting yourself for work, whether you're doing it through social media, or if you have your own business and you're promoting yourself. Maybe you're doing a workshop, maybe you're doing manifesting work during this difficult time. It's a good use for that. And then we have, let's see here, on the winter solstice, the sun enters Capricorn at 5:02 a.m. Eastern time, and we begin the winter solstice, which is a very significant day. It's in the northern hemisphere, the longest night of the year and the shortest day, and the sun stops, and we reflect on what we want to manifest and create in our lives, what we want to honor, and really to figure out what we want to align ourselves with. And on that day, it's particularly special because Saturn and Jupiter meet up at 1:21 p.m. Eastern time at 0 degrees and 29 minutes of the fixed air sign of Aquarius. And this begins the age of Aquarius, the real age of Aquarius. And Saturn is the structure and Jupiter is the vision. And we're structuring a new vision. And for you, this is in your house of life goals. Anything you want that to be. That could be relationships, certainly professional goals, personal goals, but it's big, angular. Having this happen, they meet up every 20 years, the Saturn and Jupiter. So what do you want to structure in your life? Big, big time. And then we have on the 24th or the 25th of December, the sun squares Chiron in the sky. And that can be difficult around wounds and healing, and Chiron, the wounded healer. We are all coming into touch with that, obviously, and the sun is transiting in your 8th house of intimacy and blocks, and so it's time to pay attention to that. And then let's see here, and Chiron is transiting in your house of the subconscious mind. So it may be things that you're even not totally conscious of that are coming up for you. And on the 27th, we have the Sun trines Uranus in the sky, or Mercury trines Uranus in the sky. And Mercury is in your house of healing, and Uranus is transiting in your house of self. And this is a really Mercury's transiting in your house of manifesting, and Uranus is transiting in your first house of self. And that's an excellent day for innovating around promoting yourself, networking in some way, manifesting work, writing. If you're trying to publish something, this is excellent for publishing. Really, really good for writing and communication of all forms. And then we have a full moon that takes place on December 29th at 8 degrees of Cancer and 53 minutes. And that's going to be in your third house of local neighborhood events. That's also the house of information. Maybe you've been working on something and that comes to form, whether it's something you've been writing or something you've been trying to promote. Also, you could get some information and find something out. Very emotional full moon in the sign it rules. And again, this is eclipse season and the end of a very, very historical year. And the final day of the year on December 31st, we've got the moon in Leo, and the last aspect it makes is a trine to Chiron, the wounded healer. And Chiron again is transiting in your house of imagination and spirituality and the subconscious mind. And moon in Leo, Leo rules the heart chakra. And this falls in the moon's transiting in your house of emotional security and emotional foundation. And it's opening up your heart chakra to heal in this difficult time. And I think that's auspicious as we seek to heal and build and create connection in the age of Aquarius. So I wish you a lot of luck and good luck, Taurus. Take care.